G'day fellas and welcome to the first casted game of the brand new patch, spawning in over on the west side of the map, the northwest side of the map. It's a little pocket up here. It is Give You Anxiety, and he's going to be playing the French for us today. His opponent, who spawns opposite him, is Grubby down in the southeast side of the map, and he is going to be playing the Delhi Sultanate. Now this of course is a land map, and we are going to be witnessing the power, the true power of Delhi in their zone. Now, there's a couple of changes in the most recent patch, changes most importantly affecting the Delhi Sultanate. With regard to the French, I think the biggest thing for them is just professional scouts, which was a general nerf. So it just means that they are going to be a little bit slower on bringing their carcasses in. So not a big deal. For Delhi don't really use or utilize professional scouts. It does take quite a while to get that in. In fact, it's only 3 minutes. That's not too bad. You could research that as soon as you get up to the second age. You'd probably have it in by 8 minutes. That's not bad. That's pretty decent. That's manageable. But Delhi have had a whole bunch of changes. So you guys would have seen that Delhi's spim and brace wasn't working. Well, now that's been fixed. They've got a whole bunch of other changes as well. Mainly just bug fixes, if I'm going to be honest. That's like been the big thing. And I alluded to this in the patch video that I did, but I genuinely think Delhi are going to become top tier. So when it comes to the tier list, I think that like Mongols are still going to be S tier. I don't think anything's really going to be able to challenge them. But I think in the A tier, you're probably going to have Delhi. Delhi are a civilization that's very versatile, strong on water maps, or rather hybrid maps, not strong on open water maps. So as an example, maps like Archipelago, maps like Warring Islands, not particularly strong, but you know, those closed maps, Nagari, those sorts of maps, much stronger. So hopefully we see them coming out a fair bit more on land maps in particular. Grubby, if you're unfamiliar with him, I'm going to leave a link in the description as well as to Give You Anxiety. But I'm sure you guys are familiar with him because we have casted plenty of games of Give You Anxiety. But for Grubby, he is a fellow YouTuber, a little bit of a legend, or say a little bit, quite a lot of a legend. I think he's got a Wikipedia page. He is one of the most prolific Warcraft 3 players, successful players of all time. Won more championships, tournaments than any other Warcraft 3 player at all. And so obviously he's over playing Age of Empires 4, climbing up the ladder. You can see up in the top right-hand corner at the moment. I think he's sitting at about rank 90. So pretty darn decent for him. So he's opened up with a double scout opening. This is quite a common thing that we've seen players doing. Even though he's not going up against the Rus, still going with the double scout opening. But yeah, I will leave a link in the description over towards his YouTube page. He's obviously doing a lot of Age of Empires 4 content as well. We haven't casted games with Grubby, but we have played games with Grubby, so you should be familiar at least a little bit. Big Nilly in the chat. We do see him over there. How you doing, Nilly? Good to have you here. I guess, look, while we're here, it's important to mention for all you guys watching on YouTube, there's been some big news hitting the Age of Empires 4 sphere recently. So obviously we've had the patch that's dropped down. Well, there's also been an announcement of a $100,000 tournament. Nilly's Apartment Cup number 4 is going to be happening in March this year, and I'm pleased to announce that I will be attending in person in Berlin. We'll be casting with Grubby, going to be casting with Dave, and casting, of course, with the man himself, Nilly. So make sure you look out for that one. We'll be posting plenty more information about that in the future. But I'm looking forward to seeing how this game turns out. Most importantly, because I'm watching the Delhi. I'm really keen to see how the Delhi plays out here. Going for the Dome of the Faith, opening up. No surprises there. On the other side of the map, we've got the School of Cavalry, which is about to come out. We'll tune in with GUA and see exactly what he gets up to. Aging up at about 4 minutes. Looks like Professional Scouts is going to be the way that he's going. Actually, I take that back. Doesn't have a mill up. Doesn't have enough resources to research that. So just going to be opening up with Royal Knights here. So a little bit of, we've got week 1 French right now. It is just absolute, French early domination is the name of the game. So I'm curious to see whether Grubby is going to be able to defend that, whether he's going to be able to scout it. We'll check out from his perspective and see whether he's able to spot that. Obviously, he spots the School of Cavalry. Can't see if there's any units training in it at the moment, but is going to be able to spot the scout. Oh, it misses it just. Oh, he does see it. No rally point there. I'm not sure whether he picked that up. It looked like he might have changed the point there. But Royal Knight going to be coming out now. Not a lot of line of sight on the front of this base as well. Grubby's got to be careful. But now moving that scout out, this is the correct play. Going up against the French, you never really know how they're going to open, what they're going to be looking for. But the possibility is always that they're going to be hitting you with at least one knight. Early barracks coming out now from Grubby. Looks like just a single spear to repel the French knight. Now, keep in mind the Delhi's spears have been changed. So these guys are going to actually be able to brace. First knight coming in of the game. 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits. Down the villager goes, and the spearman comes in and says, get away from my villagers. That is it. So Delhi finally back on the scoreboard, and it's great to have them actually able to make spears that work. Because you see Grubby here going for the hardened spearman, but I'm a little bit more tempted just to go for full spearman at this point, just because the threat of Royal Knights is quite a large threat. But I'm curious to see whether we've got any more units coming out across the map. It doesn't look like it at this stage. Just the scouts towards the front of the base. It looks like the knight is going to be able to do its best, probably able to take down this spearman. And this is something you've got to be so careful of when you're playing against the French, is try not to lose these early spearmen like this. You want to let them reach an optimal number. You want them to be at a critical mass before you really take any fights, because if you've got a suboptimal amount of spears, you're going to be losing them. And keep in mind, the French have got access to chivalry. So if we take a look here, GUA, he's going to be able to research chivalry whenever he needs to, and he's going to be able to heal this back up. So this knight could potentially, theoretically, take out 1,000,000 spearmen and still be absolutely perfect. But now we've got double knights moving out across the map. Not sure whether that gets spotted out by Grubby. 2 spears on the front line. Gonna be looking to deal a bit of punishment here. Managing to do a nice bit of micro there. They do fall back in line, and great micro there from GUA. Really working it out. And now gonna be falling back towards this outpost. Villagers on the berries gonna have to fall back. A scout getting in on the mix as well. Town center firing off. And looks like a repel is going to be happening here. So GUA only able to take down that 1 villager initially and getting forced back. Behind this Grubby, his macro not looking the prettiest. 370 wood in the bank at the moment. Has dropped down a stable as well as that barracks. He does actually have, we'll have a look at the research that he's got so far. So he's got a scholar that is inside the barracks, which is actually going to enable him to produce at twice the speed he normally would be able to. So if you think about a spearman that's going to take 15 seconds, scrap that. Now it's 7 seconds. Now, I believe that also affects things like the research speed. So as a result, it's going to reduce that down. 15 minutes for the elite upgrade for men-at-arms, down to 7 minutes 30 because of that scholar that is garrisoned inside. Other changes for the Delhi. So they've had Sanctity, the time reduced on that quite a bit. So they're going to be able to look to capture sacred sites a lot earlier than they otherwise would. But not a lot of time for sacred sites at the moment as GUA begins to push down towards the base of Grubby. Quite a few archers out here now. He's got 4 archers, just a handful of these Royal Knights as well. And behind this, I'm curious to see what he's got going on, what upgrades we've got. It doesn't look like he's researched any upgrades yet for the economy. Going to be dropping down that mill though. And now towards the back line, we've got those veteran spear upgrades. The horseman coming out with the +2, the innate +2, the standard +2 now. So feels very good. At the same time, towards the front of the base, we've got that knight coming in, looking to do a bit of a distraction. That raid down towards the bottom side as well. Not going to do a lot, but managing to take out a fair few units here. And I got to say, so this is one of the recent changes for the horsemen. They've now got an extra +1 armor. So they've gone from 0 armor to 2 armor in the space of about a month. So it is absolutely awesome to see these guys being much stronger, especially against those ranged units. But now it looks like GUA going to be able to force his opponent to invest those resources continually. Now on the front line as well. It looks like we've got a spearman mix coming in. GUA doing his patented 1 base build order. This is something that GUA loves to do. And I love that despite many patches, GUA is still on this 1 base build order hype train. So you might be wondering, what is that? So it's essentially what Give You Anxiety loves to do is he essentially just sits on 1 base. He makes 3 different military production buildings, and then he just makes 1 of each unit constantly. And he's just got a nice composition, and basically he's just going to wait for his opponent to either make a town center or age up, and then he's going to look to punish it. That's essentially it. That's the way that he plays, and it works for him. I mean, he has been top 10 numerous times. But now it looks like he's run out of those sheep underneath the town center. He's going to have to be falling back. Looks like towards the middle of the map, he's actually looking to wall up an outpost going down on this sacred site. So very cognizant of the fact that his enemy may potentially be looking to secure this one up. So I like the fact that he's got the wall in here as well. But now it looks like another Royal Knight being repelled down towards the south. And those spears. I think the big thing for me is the fact that these spears can now brace. It's just such a relief. I think that's the best way to describe it. It's a relief because it means that they're actually useful. These spears are actually useful. They can be used, but only a few horsemen out for Grubby. I'd really love to see a larger number of horsemen. Gotta be careful with that scholar, my friend. That scholar, he is intent on healing, but I don't know if that's a good thing. Double spear coming out now. So GUA with a beautiful composition, and this is the point where I feel he starts to add in the ram. So you can see that he's starting to get quite a decent lead when it comes to his composition versus his enemy. Not a lot that he can do. And once the ram comes in, that gets further, what's the word? Further exasperated? No, further exaggerated, I think is probably the best way to say it, but it enables him to actually start doing some damage. So we'll check on the base of GUA. I want to see whether he's dropping down the blacksmith. There's the blacksmith right there. And no siege engineering just yet, but I would expect that we have that one coming through very shortly. But yeah, you can see plenty of wood that is stocked up right there. Exacerbate, yes, thank you very much. Yes, it exacerbates it. It doesn't exacerbate. Did I say exacerbate? I'm not sure. But now it looks like a little bit of a push coming out. Grubby saying, get out of my base. I've had enough of you. A little bit of a villager harassment over here as well. It looks like GUA looking to secure his hunts, so expanding. He's got control of the map, so he's able to do that. Really, his opponent, Grubby, unable to sort of punish this. So typically, you wouldn't expect players to look to come out onto these hunts. You'd rather go for professional scouts because it's going to be a lot easier, a lot safer for you to do that. The difference here is that GUA has full map control. So Grubby is going to have a difficult time forcing his way over to this side of the map, finding those raids, especially when GUA is in his base. But now a sacred site being taken, and at the same time, a knight going to be looking to deny the sacred site. So very nice control there from GUA. At the same time, the archers on the back line going to be looking to punish the horsemen as they come in. GUA mixing in a single horseman here as well. And now the archers teeing off. Pretty decent mass here from Grubby as he forces the French forces back. And unfortunately for GUA, he looks like he's going to have to walk away with his tail between his legs, at least for the moment. Wheelbarrow coming through for GUA. We'll do a little bit of a stock take. GUA on 43 villagers. His opponent on 32. Grubby definitely down on the villager count. About 11 villagers. Now, keep in mind, the French, they have an innate bonus where they generate or train villagers faster. Spears. Beautiful braces there, you see them. Braces coming in and doing a great job. GUA just microing out the spears. You can see him focusing those guys down. Doesn't look like he's actually got the +1 that has come through now as well. So plenty of upgrades, and those archers doing a decent job. Got to be careful here, though, because these guys have got a lot of armor on them. Royal Knights managing to get out. The horseman's actually so tanky. I love to see it. Like, I was expecting that volley to kill that horseman, and it manages to survive with 1 health. With 1 health. So that's a great sight. I love that the horseman's actually useful. China going to be very strong now. So one of the I was like looking at the patch and I'm like, even though the Fire Lancer got nerfed, I feel like this is a pretty big China buff because China typically wasn't I mean, they were definitely a civilization which liked or opted to go for that for professional scouts, but they didn't have to. That was the thing. And if they want to, they've got the Imperial official, which is going to be buffing up that single stable. Nice little micro there from GUA, but unfortunately, it looks like he might be losing this Royal Knight if he's not careful. Going to be splitting up these 2 units. Very dangerous to do. At the same time, repelling a attack on the front, and manages to neutralize this little attack over here. Takes out the sacred site as well. Keep in mind, there is the sacred site in the middle that's just not going to be able to be secured up just because that outpost is there. But now the double villager inside, going to be able to kill the scholar on the sacred site, but unfortunately not able to prevent it from taking it. So keep in mind, the Delhi sacred sites actually generate gold much faster. So typically, you're going to be getting 100 gold for your sacred sites. Delhi sacred sites, 200 gold. So got to be careful with those. Don't let your enemy get them. +3 armor, +3 ranged armor coming in for the horsemen. I love it. Archers on archers as GUA looks to actually secure a nice little victory here towards the front. The Royal Knight's going to be running in. They do have their +1 attack or +1 defenses. And quite a decent mass here. He's going to be able to fall back under the town center, but the extra armor on these Royal Knights is going to mean that they're not able to take too much damage. A nice little choke point here. He's got these scholars out as well. Going to be providing a little bit of extra healing, and now focusing on those archers as well. At the same time, he's training out these units or these spears as fast as possible. 20 idle villages. He's got 15 in the TC, 5 in the tower. And it looks like GUA actually going to be petering out a little bit here. His forces were looking quite good, but look at this beautiful control right now from Grubby. I got to say, that was absolutely awesome. The way that he is funneling in these units, and he manages to hold. This has got to be an insane Delhi hold. Like, the fact right there, he was looking like he was not going to hold at all. I was genuinely concerned to him. If we had seen a ram behind there, I feel like GUA probably could have just sat and done a lot of damage. But still, Grubby holds. He is a formidable fighter. Going to be walling up the Sacred Site down towards the east of the map as well. So Sacred Site going to be secure, going to be prevented. Any sort of harassment, any sort of any aggression towards that position. I gotta say, the new Delhi are looking absolutely awesome. Grubby, do not let me down. We'll have a look at the scores and see how players are tracking. Very even scores. Players within 8 points of each other, 1900 versus 1892. Delhi looking very good. Now, I gotta say, when it comes to Delhi, their power spike, in my opinion, early Castle Age. That is when they're spiking. They're able to get through all those technologies for relatively cheap. They're going to have the double blacksmith going. They're able to get through all their +2s, and that's when they spike. They get their owned blades, and men-at-arms just look to take over the game for Delhi. So when it comes to Grubby, his win condition, his power spike is still yet to be reached yet at this point, but when he hits it, he's going to be looking formidable. But let's have a look on the other side of the map. We'll see what GUA is up to, whether he's added in a second town center, but it is GUA, so highly unlikely. No siege engineering. He's got +2, or +1 rather, for everything at this point. So he is fully upgraded when it comes to his feudal age fights. Managing to secure up the Sacred Site with the outpost. Looks like a couple of villages up towards the north are going to be taking down these huntable boar. So we'll have to pay attention to that, see how well he does. Ram coming out right now as well for Grubby. So he's got plenty of forces going down now, but his economy, I mean, he is definitely thinking about Castle Age. He's got 2 villages on gold, and I think even with 1 Sacred Site, like, you don't need villages on gold, Grubby. Like, you've got so much gold in the bank. It's really one of those things, like, when you think about it, the Delhi have got so much going for them when it comes to gold. They don't have to invest any of their resources, or any of their gold, rather, in technology. So all their techs are free, and as a result, it means they're not spending gold on their techs. All their units in Age 2 don't cost gold. You know, some civilizations, like the Chinese, have units that cost gold. The Chokunu, as an example. He did actually put that battering ram down and just never finished it. I wonder what the process... Okay, now he's going to go finish it. Doesn't look like there's going to be a ram dance today, but force is definitely beginning to amass. And Grubby thinking about heading up, but probably not the wisest idea to be pushing out at the same time. I don't know how I feel about this one, Grubby. Keep in mind, he does have that +3 ranged armor, but going to be falling back now. Plenty of Royal Knights in there as well. He's got to be careful. I don't want him to overextend at this point, just when Delhi was looking pretty good. And now it looks like a couple spears in the mix. Going to be trying their best to repel those Royal Knights, but so many archers here for him. He's going to be able to fall back, continuing to micro. Not doing a whole lot of damage. Does have the +1 there, so still going to be able to get 2 damage through a pop on this. When you consider he's got 18 archers, it's probably going to be about 6 shots, 7 shots for those... to actually take out the Royal Knights. But now the villagers going to be coming forward, looking to siege down that battering ram. The outpost going to be going down. The mill going to be going down. 125 resources going to be lost for GUA, and a whole lot of map presence out here. So there was a boar that was out here, and that's the part of the reason why GUA is out here. Keep in mind there's another boar towards the north, which GUA did lose a villager taking. But yeah, unfortunately for him, it looks like his food is still in a pretty decent spot. So obviously has exhausted the first hunt that he's got. Second hunt is now being exhausted. Got the boar out here as well. Probably going to be on to farms relatively soon, but also got the berries that he's accessing. Keep in mind, he is playing the French, so it does mean that he's going to have much cheaper economic buildings. But now, Grubby pushing out in the middle of the map. Just when you thought that the power spike for the Delhi was in the 3rd age, it turns out Grubby says hello to the 2nd age. He had 1,500 gold in the bank just then, but it looks like he's done a bit of market trading. Now actually going to be able to click up. For me, at this point, I would say just pull back right now, Grubby. I don't want you to overinvest. I just want you to pull back, avoid fighting, get up to the next age, get those men-at-arms out, and you're going to be able to win this game easily. Just try and avoid fighting, but it looks like GUA is intent. He knows that his opponent may potentially go up to the next age. GUA trying his best to push back through these dark forests on Highview, trying his best to hold on. You can see the archer mass difference coming out. 23 archers right now for GUA. Compare that to 25 for Grubby, so players are relatively even. Plenty of horsemen coming out here as well, so the Royal Knights going to be doing their best to screen for it. A few spears look like they are getting in on the mix as well, so GUA with that beautiful tri-unit composition. And now we do have the age up coming through. It looks like we might have the House of Learning. We'll take a look and see if we can spot it. There it is, the House of Learning in the middle of the base for Grubby. Grubby's got to be so careful, fighting on a nice edge right now. He's really got to be careful, Grubby. This is not the type of fight that you want to be taking as you're aging up to the next age. Could be, oh my lord, villagers now potentially going to be getting taken out. That's 2 villagers that do get dropped down. He does have the textile upgrade though, so these guys are going to take a little bit more time to die. But Battering Ram now going to be turning its attention towards the archers and saying, hey, get out of here. And the Battering Ram scares off the archers. There you guys have it. So what do I want to see from Grubby at this point? I just want to see him drop down like 5 barrackses. Oh, that's exactly what he's doing. I love it. 3 barrackses. He's already got the first one. Mosque coming out. So I'd just love to see him like move 3 of these scholars into the barrackses and just start spamming men-at-arms. Get the +2 ranged upgrade. Get those own blades in. You can see the new own blades train time down to 3 minutes and 29 seconds, baby. That bad boy is coming in before 25 minutes this game. Previously, the Delhi, they were getting it to like 45 minutes, 50 minutes. It wasn't pretty, but now it is reduced. It is looking absolutely amazing. So they are in a great spot, and we can see right now player score, definitely Grubby in favor at this point. We'll turn it over to income per minute. I know you guys love to see income per minute, so we'll move it over to there. A couple villagers, got to be careful. 5 of them heading inside the outpost. Not a lot of health on this bad boy. It will get sieged down quite quickly. Doesn't look like any animation cancel going on right now, so very well played there from GUA. Very nice of him not to be abusing that, but villagers heading back. Got to be careful, these archers. No upgrades coming through just yet for them. I'll take a look at the archery range if I can find it. It's up here towards the front. Still no veterancy coming through yet. Now the first men-at-arms going to be coming out onto the field, and this is where the tables begin to turn because these men-at-arms are really difficult to deal with, especially if you're in the second age. Scholars getting taken out. Keep in mind, these aren't the most expensive scholars. They are trained from the Dome of the Faith, but Grubby definitely doing his best to hold on despite being in the next age. Horsemen moving forward. We've got that beautiful +3 ranged armor as well. And now those men-at-arms continuing to trickle out across the base of Grubby, and Grubby really trying his best to prevent any sort of damaging attack. 5 villagers going to be going down here. Spear's doing a decent job there. Men-at-arms got to be on the front line and look to be healed up with these scholars. That's really what you want to be doing with them. But GUA continuing to funnel in units, and it looks like he might have to fall back at this point in time. I really would have loved a ram out of GUA. There are multiple times in this game where I feel like if GUA had added a ram, he would have been in a much better position because it would have enabled him to leverage that extra military force that he had and start to do damage to his opponent. He would have been able to begin taking out things like this mosque, this mill, this outpost, potentially even the houses up towards the north. But without that ram, he's not going to be able to do it. Siege now going to begin down towards the south on this mill. We'll take a look at GUA, see where he is at. So GUA behind this, still yet to add in a second town center, still yet to really even think about aging up. He is very happy fighting this out in the feudal age, but still reinforcing plenty of units. We'll have a look at his production. He's got 7 military production buildings at this point in time. So he has got a lot of units coming out, and this is the scary timing that could potentially hit Grubby. So if he is not careful, he will lose in this early game, but it all sort of peters on this this siege engineering. GUA still yet to get siege engineering. I feel like, you know, as long as he doesn't get siege engineering, it's so hard for him to close out this game because the production for his opponent is still going to be here. Men-at-arms coming out. We don't have that hone blades coming in just yet, but undoubtedly it is being researched. There it is, a minute to go on that bad boy, and when that comes through, oh, GUA, you are going to be in trouble, my friend. The new Delhi is looking very good, my friends, and I tell you what, I'm excited to see more of it coming out. Now we got those men-at-arms just looking to surround the Royal Knights. He's got to be careful there. Doesn't have those upgrades coming in just yet, but he's got plenty of them out. 11 of them out. At the same time behind this, plenty of production. You can see right there, it looks like he's got, I'm trying to do the math, 8 production buildings. But the mass is beginning to build for GUA at this point quite significantly. The primary thing is that he wants to try and focus down these Royal Knights, so potentially even mixing in some spears with this. But now you can see beautiful surround coming in here for GUA. Not a lot of men-at-arms from his opponent, but keep in mind these guys do hit very hard. Grubby's still yet to get the upgrade. So it looks like his force is actually going to be overwhelmed completely here. GUA doing a pretty decent job of forcing his opponent out of this one. And it really looks like he's not going to need rams because he's just going to continue sieging down. This is a consequence of not waiting for that critical mass. It really comes down to having that bigger mass, that larger mass, because 11 men-at-arms just wasn't enough. If you'd waited to 16, 17 men-at-arms, that's crunch time, baby. That is when things change. Because you need to think about it this way, right? What's the difference between 11 and 17? You guys might not think it's a lot, but 6 units are hitting the entire time that everything is alive. So it means that they stay alive for much longer. So they're doing DPS for a longer time. Spear's going to be coming in, looking to defend these villages on the front line, managing to do it. And GUA looking to put nails in coffins right now as the Knights run underneath the second town center of Grubby. I'm not sure exactly when he added this one. It's probably been quite some time, but he's sitting on 56 villages at the moment. GUA himself sitting on 76. So a 20 villager difference at this point in time. Despite GUA being an age down, he is up 20 villages. So a significant economic lead, and he's able to force his opponent back. Now, keep in mind, that is not the only economic things he's got. We've also got sacred sites that have been captured for his opponent. So something that he's really got to be cognizant of, that he doesn't just have the villager lead. It's not just villagers. Keep going to be coming down now for Grubby. He's looking to hold a little bit more strength in this position. Keep in mind, the Delhi castles are very, very strong. But plenty of spears now going to be coming out as well for Grubby. Got to be careful up against these archers. They do get that bonus against light melee infantry, and that's exactly what these veteran spearmen are. Keep in mind, they do have their +2 range armor already coming through. I got to say, I love Delhi, man. Delhi is looking really good right now. Now that these bugs have been fixed, it makes me feel great about Delhi. Like, the new Delhi is looking incredible when I see this. Like, okay, sure, Grubby, he's in a difficult spot. He's going up against French, which are probably one of the top tier civs. I wouldn't say S tier, probably closer to A tier. I think the only S tier civ at the moment is probably going to be Mongols. We'll have to wait out. We'll have to see how it goes. Village fortresses now going to be coming in for Grubby. Multiple raids hitting him at the same time. He's got the Royal Knight and the Gold Mine. It looks like he's got some veteran archers down here. Going to chase them out with some men-at-arms. They do have their honed blades coming in now. Villagers slowly but steadily going to be taken out. But yeah, this new Delhi is looking absolutely awesome. Mosque going to be coming up over here as well. I wonder what this mosque is all about. He's all about extending out this mosque coverage, isn't he? He loves this stuff. GUA finally reaching the castle age. We'll tune in with him, see exactly what he's up to as this Royal Knight causes havoc in the base of his opponent. So he's gone up with the guild hall, still on food at the moment, may potentially switch it over to gold. But he's got 30 villagers on gold at this point in time, looking to secure up the majority of the map. And look at this, actually taking away his opponent's hunt. He's got 19 villagers out here. He is so lucky his opponent hasn't found this. If his opponent found this, whew, you would be in trouble. Mangonel going to be coming out now for Grubby. So he's looking pretty strong. If he goes into the Mangonel plus men-at-arms composition, it's going to be very difficult for his opponent to deal with this because you can't go crossbows. The only thing you can really do is springles and knights. That's probably the best way to deal with it. GUA once again coming in with these veteran Royal Knights. I would love to see some more walls coming out from Grubby. Keep in mind he is playing the Delhi, so if there's a civilization that wants to wall, it's going to be the Delhi. Very easy for him to do that. Just grabs these 6 spears, draws a wall like that along the edge here, and they are going to create it. No idle time. He's got 700 resources in the bank as well, so very easily able to do it. But yeah, unfortunately for him, still... Does Grubby spot this? Grubby, I don't think Grubby spotted that, just because it is high view. So this is... I guess this is something very cheeky to take away. If you are playing on high view, and, you know, your opponent hasn't taken their hunt, feel free to go and take their hunt, because it's going to be very difficult for them to spot it, because it's high view. And there are stealth forests absolutely everywhere. So that's my hot tip of today. Veteran Royal Knights now coming out for GUA. His army is looking quite strong at this point. Arbaletria getting mixed in with the veteran archers, so he's very cognizant of the fact that his opponent may potentially be just going only men-at-arms. We've got the Siege Workshop going to be coming down, so I would expect that we potentially see some Springalds coming out here. GUA macro potentially looking like he might be thinking about going up to the the Imperial Age. So that is something that we're going to have to watch, wait and see. 88 villages for GUA. And now we've got those walls coming out for Grubby. Grubby looking like he wants to create the walls of wisdom. I don't even know what to call this. There's just so many walls. And I really love his walls. They're very... look, if someone told me Grubby has got... not OCD, what's the other one? Is it autism? I can't remember. There's one where you love, like, geometry. Like, for me, I love geometry. Like, whenever I do my walls, I want them looking like this. You know, I don't just have a single wall just going across like this. Like, they must be square. They must be square. Like, they must be at 90 degrees. Like, that is clearly, like, what he's gone for. He's gone for, like, the full, I must wall myself in perfectly. Like, he thinks there's a grid system, and he hasn't realized that he could just draw the wall across like this. So, Grubby, if you are watching this one, my top tip of the day, let your autism be free, my friend. Let it be free. No, it can be hard. I'm all about that. Like, I don't know about you guys, but everything in my house has got a place, and if someone moves it, well, that is a death sentence right there. No, I'm just kidding. The police that are watching this, please don't come to my house. Multiple mangonels now coming out for Grubby. He's got the 3 mangonels out here. Plenty of spears. I want to have a look and see, is there a button that I can press to get all of his military out? Okay. I don't think so. I think it's only idle military. But there are a lot of men-at-arms now coming out for Grubby, as well as a lot of spearmen coming out. Plenty of mangonels out for him. Look at the... Oh, he's sending in the ram to scout. This is so smart. So he knows he doesn't need the ram at this point in time because he's got secondary siege in the mangonel. But Springle's now going to be coming out and managing to sort of take a little bit of a leap when it comes to this. Mangonel's got to be careful. That one is probably going to get taken out. Indeed, it does. So one of those mangonels falling down, that's a lot of resources that have gone to waste. I think about, what is it, 400 plus 250, so 650. Mangonel still... Get these spears up here, Grubby. That poor mangonel. Mangonel does go down. That's 2 mangonels going down for Grubby. He's only got a single mangonel that remains. Still going to be enough to do damage, but keep in mind, there are Springleds coming out for GUA at this point, and he's going to look to put the nail in the coffin with that one. I got to say, I love the composition coming out here from GUA at this point. It's looking really good. And now the first elephant begins out on the map. So Grubby got plenty of gold in the bank. It says, I'm going to spend it on a Tower War elephant. We enter 31 minutes into this game, so cracking the half-hour mark. Looks like this wall does get up for Grubby. The 90-degree wall towards the north is still up. He hasn't finished this wall segment, but we'll permit it. Oh, my lord. No, Grubby, you got to finish that one, buddy. You got to finish that one. But now it looks like we've got ourselves a little bit of a raid up towards the north. Men-at-Arms just looks like they were sieging down a stable. At the same time, we've got Grubby going for the full outplay potential. Mangonel also coming in for GUA, looking to get off a bit of damage. It's going to get spotted out by the Men-at-Arms. Men-at-Arms begin to immediately move towards that Mangonel and look to try and punish this. Archers heading back towards the wood line and going to be trying their best to save the villagers. Villagers actually managing to get off a heal and going to keep this Mangonel alive. Unfortunately for Grubby, he doesn't look to get or secure too much with that little push. And now the veteran Royal Knights begin to move around the map. Now, keep in mind, GUA not aware of these giant 90-degree stone walls coming out for Grubby at this point. Manages to take out the scout, so prevents that scouting, but obviously knows that there are big stone walls down here towards the south. Still yet to stonewall up the front, so there is an opening here. But unfortunately for GUA, it is prevented, or it is somewhat protected by this castle as well as all these military forces. But GUA now going to be moving in behind this stone wall, running underneath this keep. Going to be able to take out the first villager. There are plenty of units back here. Springald also going to be coming out for his opponent. And GUA actually falling back and says, you know what, I don't want to go through there. Scouts on the front line as well, going to be providing that line of sight up for GUA. He knows all about the siege of his opponent. Tower Elephants are going to be coming out for his opponent, and Grubby now looking to get into the mix. It looks like we've got a forced charge coming out straight onto the Springalds. They're going to get right on top. Oh, 2 of the Springalds going down. A Wallalog coming down as well. Somewhere, there it is. Oh, the wall! Oh, no, he deleted all the villages. Oh, GUA deleted all the villages. It was absolutely clutch. He deleted the villages instead of letting them go to his opponent. So smart. At the same time, Grubby with the biggest Wallalog plays you have ever seen right now. GUA looking to overwhelm his opponent. So despite losing all those villages with the Wallalog on the back line, it looks like the only remaining units for Grubby are going to be these Tower War Elephants. He's getting into the mix. He's trying his best to keep it alive. A keep going to be going down right now. Those villagers have been culled completely, and Mangonel's being forced to come in and look to take out these villagers. He's got to be really careful with this one because he can potentially lose villagers. The Mangonels are unfolding. Mangonels are unpacking. Looks like they're going to only be hitting the baseline and not actually... There it is, the villagers. One shot going down second, and this could be bad for Grubby. This could spell the end right now. He did manage to take out a whole bunch of villagers from his opponent, but at the same time, he is losing his own villagers as 15 or so villagers get massacred. The keep does go up, and it looks like Grubby will potentially hold this position right now. I can't believe that Wallalow. I'm actually going crazy. 88 villagers for Grubby. GUA sitting on 67. So another Wallalow coming out. Villagers looking to come in and stab this scholar to death. It looks like he's going to be able to get it off, managing to actually take those 4 villagers. And I don't know, what does he do now? He's got a bit of a party on his hands that he can potentially have. So the second Wallalow does get off. The villager delete wasn't in time, and GUA gets repelled on the front, and you've got to really start to wonder at this point, what is the score looking like? Grubby ahead by almost 1,000 points at this point, and you got to say, it seems evident. GUA has lost a lot of villagers. I mean, he's been donated a relic, but you really got to scratch your head and say, what's worth it? What's worth more, the relic or the 25 villagers that got deleted here? Now Grubby going to be dropping a castle as well in the stealth forest, but GUA obviously spots it out and says, hey man, that's not cool. Don't build the castle. So really Grubby being absolutely cheeky. And I gotta say, I love the way that Grubby is playing this. The fact that he's walled up and he said, you're not allowed to come into my base, but I am going to come into your base. And he's going absolutely menacing with this. Like, we have seen the men-at-arms coming in towards the north, burning down this stable, the men-at-arms on this wood line. Then we've seen the relic, the monk coming in with the relic and harassing those villagers. GUA now looking to siege down this keep. And this is looking incredibly good for Grubby now. He has managed to turn the tide of battle. It all came down to this castle. If this castle didn't get up, it would have been incredibly difficult for him to stop the push that was coming in from GUA. But obviously with this castle coming up, it protects this left flank. It protects the flank up towards the north. And subsequently, he's able to funnel units in between these two keeps. And that is not something that GUA wants to do. Mangonel, Tower War Elephant combination now going to be coming out. When it comes to Grubby, he's sitting on 156 villager pop, or rather military pop. Rather, population. Oh my god, look at this. This is the assassin. Like, what are you... Oh, he gets found out. He gets found out. How did GUA spot this? Oh, he's got like he's got an outpost. The Wallalow looks to come off. I think the charge is probably going to be too much here. Oh, geez, that was close. That was close, but I tell you what, I like this assassin play from Grubby. This is really smart moves. Is it like the religious assassin? Is that probably the best way to say it? Like, he's literally diving behind enemy lines with a relic, and he's like, I will find your villagers, and I will convert them. Like, that's essentially what he's saying. Like, it is, you have Liam Neeson right now in the religious pocket, playing with the religious relic, looking for those religious freedoms? Religious, I don't know exactly what he's looking for. Another keep going to be coming down from Grubby. Grubby doing a great job with these keeps. Training villagers from his keeps as well. Keep that in mind. So when he drops these keeps down, he's not just dropping down a defensive structure. He's dropping down a town center. For all intents and purposes, this is a town center. It's able to train villagers. It's able to train scouts. It's able to garrison units inside it as well. He's doing it incredible. Grubby looking absolutely amazing at this point as we enter into the 37th minute of the game. And now going to be walling towards the front, getting these beautiful walls out. I love this one. Not quite. Is that 90 degrees? I'm going to have to do an assessment here. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of looking 90 degrees. Yep. We're probably going to need the surveyor out here. Anybody got a contact number for a surveyor? We're just going to need to make sure that this is actually 90 degrees because, look, Grubby, I'm not 100% sure, mate. But Springhorn's now going to get taken out. Force charge not needed to be used, and huge mass coming out for GUA. He's sitting on 76 military population versus the 73 of Grubby. All of his Mangonels going to get forced out, and the keep going to be slowly but steadily going up. GUA's military mass is quite significant at this point. Grubby, on the other hand, he's got units up here towards the north, not really using them. Men-at-arms on the front here. Still got quite a bit of a hole in this wall. Probably wants to tend to that sooner rather than later. Men-at-arms now going to be coming through. Those villagers slowly but steadily coming out. The Scholar also here to heal them up. The keep gets up. The keep gets up. He does have the burning oil. Burning oil going to be slowly but steadily punished over on his opponent. But look at this, GUA. Once again, the lack of battering rams, man. I'm telling you, so many times during this game, if GUA had just had a single battering ram, he would be in an absolutely insane position. Grubby, on the other hand, floating a lot of resources, floating about 7,000 resources. He could be dropping about like 6 mangonels with those resources. So that's what I want to see him do. We'll have to wait. We'll have to see whether he looks to do that. But these keep combinations looking very strong. I like that he's just putting a normal wall at the front as well. And now up towards the north, it looks like GUA's been found out on this gold mine. He's managed to mine 4,500 gold off it, but unfortunately that's going to be all he mines for now, as he does get found out with these just a handful of spears and men-at-arms up towards the north, and slowly but steadily, Grubby is expanding his territory. He's expanding his control out. He's got these 90-degree walls coming in. The civil engineer has confirmed, yes, it is 90 degrees. It will be permitted on this map, and people are very happy. I mean, the crowds are roaring at this point in time. They are excited to see more 90-degree walls getting placed around the map. This is... oh my god. I feel like, you know, okay, that's enough. I mean, I could go all day, but he's he's coming back with the scholar. He's gonna pick up that relic, I suspect. Is he going for the sacred site? Is that what he's doing? Look at he's gone the long way to the sacred site. He's like, look at him go. He's actually going to do it. Does this doesn't even, it doesn't have the arrow slits. He could potentially take this. He could, oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, not like this. It's my mortal enemy, the scholar says. The wolf. The wolf. The one I cannot convert. And now the sacred site slowly but steadily going to get taken out here. On the front line, it looks like we've got ourselves a bit of a battle. We'll get back to Rocky in a little bit. But 3 battering rams finally coming out for GUA. And you got to say, like, I feel it's a little bit late at this point. But, you know, better late than never. Grubby still stacking up plenty of resources here. And Sacred Site is going to get captured. But it looks like the Scholar is slowly dying because he does have that armor now. But Sacred Sites, all of the Sacred Sites going to get captured. Grubby feeling good. Got that passive 600 gold a minute coming in for him. And the army continues to push out. He's actually on max population at this point. He's going to be able to click up to the Imperial Age and look to get up. Mangonel is actually going to be firing, opening up on these Royal Knights, and there are so many Mangonels. You know, I mentioned earlier, I said he's got so many resources in the bank. We'd love to see all these Mangonels coming out from him. Look at what we see now. It is the Mangonel mass that begins to make moves on the front line here as the men-at-arms force march up to the front and get on the back line, managing to take out those Springalds, and now the Mangonels are going to have free reign over the infantry mass of his opponent. Still, those Sacred Sides are up. Grubby looking incredibly strong as we enter into the 42nd minute of this game. He's got a couple of elephant archers in here, Tower War elephants. Wait, weren't these guys meant to be changed to just Tower Elephants? Remember there was a patch note that was like, the Tower War elephant has been renamed to the Tower Elephant. But then it just didn't change it? I feel like that was like 3 patches ago. Devs, if you're watching this, can we like put that on the list? Tower Elephants now pushing up. Not sure exactly what they're aiming to achieve. Mangonels not really doing a whole lot back here, just firing off on some mining camps. Ideally, you want to be firing off on the military. Have a look at the Arbalatria numbers coming out here. 39 Arbalatria out for GUA. He is looking quite strong. Battering rams behind this. And now Grubby reaching the Imperial Age. We'll have a look at his production. We'll see what he's got coming through. Doesn't seem like a lot at this point. No Imperial upgrades coming through at this point. Grubby obviously dealing with the difficulties of high APM gameplays that often you don't have enough APM to do everything that you need to do. But there's a little bit of a lull, so hopefully he's going to be picking up these techs very soon. 14 idle villas for him, 123 villages in total. We'll check in with GUA. GUA sitting on 86 villages, 88 rather, villages. Got that monastery out, 2 relics inside it. They were donated to him from Grubby, so Grubby definitely being very generous there. But now GUA looking to potentially come in on another angle. Now GUA is aware of these walls. He does know that they are here, and is slowly but steadily going to look to come around on this position. There's a couple of villages out on this wood line, and there is a gate nearby, but my fear is that these poor villagers are going to get massacred before they've even got the chance to get inside the gates, get inside the castle walls. And unfortunately, it does look like they have seen better days. Grubby, I'm curious to see what his production looks like at the moment. 5 barracks is a stable, 5 archery ranges, 2 siege workshops. I feel like at this point, he probably wants to up those numbers. I'd be stepping it up to maybe 15, 20 barracks, 15, 20 archery ranges. You really want to start getting crazy numbers up for that. And we finally have got some more stone walls coming out. The crowd goes absolutely wild. A beautiful wall segment we've got in here, perfectly straight, keeping in with a 90-degree theme. So you can see right there, that is the straight wall. And then over here, oh, it's close, it's close. I think that's the 90 degrees that we do see coming in. So Grubby, you know, really just... Oh, and look at this, beautifully connected through the invisible, the forest right there. But now down towards the south, it looks like a couple of these villages that were on the stone mine going to get taken out. Unfortunately, Grubby losing down to 99 villages. So GUA managing to take out about 30 villages or so. And now these Imperial technologies slowly going to be coming in for Grubby. No, they're not. Grubby, get your Imperial techs, mate. They're free. You're playing the deli. You're playing the deli, buddy. We've got the Imperial techs slowly coming in now. It seems 1, 2, 3. Is that Siege Elephant? Yeah, Siege Elephant coming through. More coming through here. So he is slowly getting the Imperial techs. He's sitting on 182 military population at the moment. Doesn't really have access to gold. I think this is the final gold mine that he's got access to. There is one down here towards the south. GUA sitting very happily on it at this point in time. When it comes to the late game, typically you are going to be fighting over the gold mines. He who controls the gold controls the world. That is at least what they say. Is that a saying? I feel like that should be a saying. Can someone Google that for me? If that's not a saying, like... Maybe it's something like similar, like he who controls the oil controls the world. I don't know, but it's something capitalist, all right? Something capitalist. But there's still plenty of gold to be had out on this map. GUA reaching the Imperial Age as well. We'll tune in with him. He who controls the spice controls the world. Oh, okay. There you go. There you go. So coming in from our Indonesian friends, our classically capitalist Indonesian friends, controlling the world there. But Arbitratria numbers back here are absolutely formidable. I'm curious to see what kind of upgrades we do get through. Men-at-Arms just being annoying. GUA once again just doing the no-wall challenge. And this is something that we see him do quite a bit. He starts the game off and he says, I'm not going to make a single wall. You know, sometimes he says about rams, sometimes he says about walls. This game he's gone with the walls, and he says, I'm not going to make a single wall. And that can sometimes bite him, because walls are actually quite helpful in controlling where your opponent can go and where they can't go. So it really makes it kind of difficult for GUA, because he's going to be raided constantly. He's sitting on 100 vils, 99 vils, so it's not a terrible amount, but we are entering into the 46th minute of the game. We're in the post-Imperial era right now, essentially. GUA has switched the guild hall over onto gold, 340 stacked up in there, going up with the College of Artillery. So looking to get out some Royal Culverin to potentially counter the mangonels of his opponent. Down towards the south, we've got a keep that's going to be going up. Plenty of keeps, actually. So many keeps coming up. How many keeps is that? There's 1, 2, 3, and then there's 4, 5 here. So he's gone for 5 keeps throughout this game. And I got to say, I love this playstyle. I think that Grubby has honestly played this methodically. I think there were a couple of points that were looking a little bit concerning for me when he was pushing out, when he was aging up. But other than that, it has been a methodical play. It has been very, it's been absolutely perfect. I can't fault him at this point. Springled now, gotta be careful. Gonna get taken out potentially by the Springleds of Grubby. I don't know what these two are doing. Oh, these guys are firing off in the stable. There we go. Now gonna be going down. Royal Knight's gonna be coming out. No elite status for these Royal Knights just yet. We'll check in on these and see. Yeah, no elite status coming through at all. I don't think he's got the gold for the elite status. So one of the things, if you can't upgrade your units to elite, is it really even worth going up to the Imperial Age? I mean, that's one of those big questions. Like, you got to be doing something with your Imperial Age, right? You got to be looking to achieve something. A random wall just coming down now for Grubby as well, looking to further segregate the map. Down towards the south, this keep continues to fire off, and Grubby just securing up the map slowly but steadily. Look at these walls coming out, not observing the 90-degree rule over here, so maybe it only applies to the stone walls. Look at this one. Here you got a little bit of a T intersection, but that's off at a weird angle right there. I think the authors in the chat are just going to be absolutely upset. And just keep in mind, I'm remembering a meme that I saw. Like, some guy, the meme was like, it was a Twitter post. It's like, some guy made a joke about suicide in class, and he said it was fine because he has depression, and it's like the N-word. So, like, he could joke about suicide because he had depression. And I was like, I'm thinking, like, because I've got autism, I could joke about autism. Like, anyone in the chat who's, like, joking about autism, I want you guys to feel bad. because, like, you know, that's a disability, man. But for me, like, as an autist, I'm like, bro, what's going on right here? Oh my gosh. This is next level stuff. Like, what is Grubby even doing here? I mean, we got GUA who's doing the no wall challenge, and at the same time, you've got Grubby who is like doing the complete opposite of it. He's going for like the full wall challenge. He's aiming to wall the entire map. Look at the map, dude. He's creating a star fort. This is wild. No elite upgrades just yet. Looks like the Culverin have come out. So he is going to be using his Imperial Age at least to some success here, utilizing the Culverin. But GUA now down towards the south, looking to get a bit of a raid off. That keep going to be paying dividends there. And now the outpost with the Springwood inside. And really, like, Grubby is just so methodical at this point. He's just putting the nail into the coffin. He's stacking up so many resources. He's got more than 20,000 resources in the bank at this point. The only thing that I'm concerned about is he doesn't have the production. And I really, that's something that I would harp on. If you're playing these late game situations where you've got this much wood in the bank, do not forget to add in your production facilities. It doesn't have to be behind your walls. It can be in front of your walls. You know, you do it in a forward location. Just drop down like 10 barrackses and just queue up a whole bunch of men-at-arms in there. Eventually, they're going to come out, okay? Once you start to get into fights. So that's really what you need to think about. Now, obviously, he's playing Delhi. He's going to have that faster production from his scholars. But ideally, you want to be pumping out all of those production facilities. You want to make sure that there is no shortage of production, because when it gets to these late game situations, you start trading out units really quickly and you start replacing the units that you've got. It means that you're able to replace those even faster. So really important to consider. Royal Culverin gonna get forced back here. GUA doing his best to try and hold on. Scores you can see right now starting to get away from GUA. We'll have a look at the income per minute, and you can see that GUA definitely behind on the gold, which is always the most important metric when it comes to these late game situations. Still not enough gold to upgrade his army. He's got Arbaletier out, and I feel like this army is like, it's one bad mangonel shot away from a GG, and that's the scary part for me. He's got the single Culverin out, and that's going to be able to help him in this situation. And he's doing a great job of microing it here. You can see he pulls it back, and then he brings it forward. He's going to look to get those shots off. He needs to ideally bring out a couple of villages here to help heal this one up. But he does have the second Culverin out now. And with this, he's going to be able to punish his opponent and any potential siege that he's got. But look at these walls that are coming out from Grubby. I feel like at this point, you're kind of just... It's almost abuse. Like, this is looking pretty disgusting, man. This is like... When I say disgusting, it's looking beautiful. But now it looks like GUA trying to commit here. Ideally, if I'm GUA, I'm just selling a whole bunch of my resources. Sell your stone, sell your food, get your elite Royal Knights in, get your elite Arbaletier in. But that's really what you want in this position, because your opponent has got full elite upgrades. You've got elite archers that are out. You've got the elite spearmen. He's paid absolutely zero for them. He's stacking up almost 30 or more than 30,000 resources at this point. And now we're going to see all that production coming out. And GUA begins to circle around. Looks like these Tower War Elephants slowly but steadily going to get taken out. And the archers in the back line just teeing off towards those Royal Knights, but 6 armor on those bad boys compared to the 11 for the elite archer, so not terrible. And going to have to fall back, Grubby is on this position. He's got Mangonel sitting behind these walls, and you hear those Culverins just firing off and unfortunately just taking them out before they're able to do any real damage. Grubby really looking to put a nail in the coffin here, but having a difficult time of doing it. GUA, on the other hand, sitting on 197. I would love to see him just spam a trash army at this point. He just needs to be reinforcing it. Battering rams coming out for GUA. So despite his opponent sitting on more than 30,000 resources stacked up in the bank, GUA is looking to actually push out and potentially do some damage. Keep in mind that the battering rams have been changed recently, so that they actually only cost 1 population. So that's the big difference. They only cost 1 population, so they're useful in the late game. Ram dance coming down. You guys love a good ram dance. I love a good ram dance. This is what I'm all about. I wake up in the morning wishing that I was at a ram, or at a certain ranch doing the ram dance. But these Arbaletier, they're going to be... Look at them just go. Look at them go. They look like ants. You know when the ants follow each other, like they follow each other's tails? I think I saw that on Reddit. I think there was a post on Reddit today. It was like when you're building a ram and the ants were just going around in circles. But why is there... Oh, there's a circle on the map. I got confused with the circle on the map. I thought it was part of the walls. But it was not part of the walls. It was like he was under attack. Rams coming in from multiple angles right now. 4 rams looking to finally put an end to these palisade walls, but the Springwoods, they're just gonna kill the rams. Sad days. Sad days for a man without gold. Sad days indeed. All right, so now the Culverin going to be slowly coming forward. He needs to bring the Culverin up with the Royal Culverin. Now, keep in mind, Culverin have got the same range as the upgraded Springald. So Springalds have got their roller shutter triggers upgrade, so that's going to give them the same range as the Springald. Some civs get access to the Culverin, some do not. The French only get access to theirs through their Royal or their College of Artillery, which GUA did age up with. But now he looks like he's going to be pushing out a lot of mangonels in here. 4 mangonels in here for GUA. He could be getting off some serious shots right now. I think he must have got them off on the elephant because all of the archers still remain. Where is the military right now for Grubby? He's sitting on max pop. He's got 84 military pop, but he's got nothing on the field, dude. Like, he's got a... Is he bugged or something? Is this another Delhi bug? Like, where is your military pop, bro? You've got 23 units out. And like 3 of them are Springalds and 2 of them are Tower War Elephants. Like, what's going on? Where is your military at? Like, unironically, where is the Delhi military? Elephants are only 3 pop, so that's 9 population. Hold on, are we finding a Delhi? Okay, here we go. 24 arch. Oh, 7 Springalds. So 7 times 3. You're looking at 21 there. So he's up to 27 from that. So that now we're talking about 51, 53, and then is it Control Shift C? Yeah, there we go. Oh, he's got scholars. Oh, it could be the scholars. He's got 19 scholars. No wonder. 20 scholars, dude. That's taking up 10% of your population, and they probably count as military. Control Shift C. Okay, so. Yeah, I mean, at this point, like, there's a lot of Springalds in... But there's no military mass, so that's the thing. Like, do you just delete villages at this point? Like, because, I don't know, I feel like Delhi just has... They got no units out. At least it feels that way. But, Springald mass starting to build significantly. He's up to 11 Springalds at this point. Down towards the south, it looks like GUA is expanding out. Plenty of barracks coming in for Grubby, and this is exactly what he needs to be doing. There is a battering ram that's slowly but steadily taking them down. Double castle coming out for GUA at this point, so he didn't sell all that stone that he had in the bank. Is there any gold that remains on this map? I'm curious. There is gold towards the north. 4,000 gold up towards the north. That is the last remaining gold on this map as we enter the 56th minute of this game. So GUA really trying to hold on, but keep in mind, like, it really comes down to this. There's a market over here. Or a trade post. He could be dropping a market in this corner and trading, but he's yet to do that. It's a big investment. It's a difficult investment. It's hard to find timing for that. Villagers, on the other hand, are going to be getting massacred as they did try and siege down that outpost. Not going to be having a lot of luck. GUA sitting on 82 villagers at this point in time, under attack on multiple angles at this point, but now going to be looking to potentially lose this this keep, and he's got to be careful because at the same time, there's the potential threat of an attack through the main base. But looks like Grubby moving the majority of his forces down towards this direction. No cannons coming out for either players. I would love to see some bombards coming out or some royal cannons coming out for our French player. But just so many villagers at this point in the game. And when you've got 40,000 resources stacked up, I think at that point you're probably like, do I need the villagers? Probably not. Like I could get away with deleting 60 villagers at this point. I can always rebuild them. You know why? Because I've got so many freaking castles that act as town centers. You could rebuild villages at like 8 every 20 seconds. You could literally rebuild 100 villages in like 3 minutes. That's wild when you think about it. That is absolutely wild. GUA at the same time going to be defending down here. This keep slowly but steadily getting taken out by these war elephants. Do we have the animation cancelling? I don't know if that elephant's just having a really good time or if he's being animation cancelled. He's not being animation cancelled. You can tell because he'd be moving away. But GUA still with the veteran units. Still no elite units. Man, this absolutely kills me to see that GUA is like holding on for dear life here. And yet it still doesn't have the elite units. The fact that Grubby can't actually finish him off. Like, I don't even know who just tapped out then. I don't even know. Someone has turned white. I think GUA is tapped out. Yeah, GUA, okay. GUA has tapped out. He has said there is no more. Like, he didn't have enough gold. He's tapped out. Grubby is victorious. A little bit anticlimactic, I'll be honest. Like, there just wasn't a lot of military, but GUA just didn't want to fight anymore. It's like 57 minutes, 53 seconds. But, look, watching that game, overall, I'm pretty happy with the Delhi. They're looking incredible. The big thing for me is that like late game, I think it's really important to have the production facilities down. Make sure that you're keeping track of those scholar numbers, because 20 scholars, I think at some point you just got to delete them. I think you just got to delete them. But anyway, if you're watching this one on YouTube, make sure you check out Grubby. Make sure you check out GUA. Wonderful creators. I hope you guys are enjoying this patch as much as I am, because I tell you what, it's looking a lot better. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.